What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing. I just finished up watching KSI versus Luis Alcaraz Pineda, and this was a three-rounder in the cruiserweight division. And this fight was Saturday, August 27th from the O2 Arena in London, England. And this fight was broadcasted on the DAZN pay-per-view. And in this fight, KSI was able to get a third-round knockout victory over Luis Alcaraz Pineda. And leading up to the stoppage, this bout scored 20-14 in favor of KSI. So just to break this fight down, Luis Alcaraz Pineda going into this fight was just I guess you could say just a journeyman in the real boxing world. I mean, he didn't really have any solid wins. I mean, he has very limited opposition that he has faced that he's lost to and that he's beaten. But this was just a very solid showcase for KSI in front of his fans in the UK. I mean, everyone was really expecting him to win. I mean, I know he was a real fighter, Pineda, but he was a journeyman. You know, he to himself probably doesn't really have much big experience in the ring and probably doesn't train too hard for his fights considering the level he fights at. But just to break this fight down, so KSI in the first round really came out like guns blazing on Pineda. He came forward, was throwing shots. And he was able to drop him early in the first round with like some big body shots. Like they were in like a clinch, I guess you could say, and Pineda was just getting hammered to the body with big body shots. Pineda took a knee, and then he just started to complain that he was hit with a rabbit punch, but the referee still counted it. I mean, Pineda was complaining this entire fight. So yeah, the referee registered a count. It was called a knockdown, obviously. And then later in that round, KSI dropped him again with a right hand. And this was all inside like the first like minute and a half. And then Pineda was just, after he got dropped the second time, he was continuously whining, and the referee was just admonishing him because he was saying that he was hit behind the head, he wanted time to recover. But, yeah, I mean, the referee had none of that and just called the right calls, called them knockdowns, gave no funny business with Pineda, and just let him continue fighting. And then the rest of that round, Pineda was just running around the ring, trying not to get hit, and that was just a clear, nice 10-8 or 10-7 round for KSI. Then round two, KSI landed some nice overhand rights. Then later, KSI landed a right hand to the temple that dropped Pineda again for the third knockdown in the fight. Pineda got back up and just started running around the ring. He was trying to avoid getting hit more. KSI continued to drop him more, or continued to hit him more. This time he was hitting him to the body, and obviously he was dropped. That was the fourth knockdown of this fight, and it was another body shot knockdown. It was sort of more like a barrage, like the first knockdown where he was just throwing more body shots that sent Pineda to the canvas. And yeah, I mean, it was just very, very odd because when Pineda would go down, he was, like, complaining. He was, like, I didn't even know. I mean, it didn't even look like real knockdowns. I'm not going to say, like, I know people would be like, oh, this fight was fixed, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I'm not part of that. I just think that Pineda is just he's just very limited in his fighting. I know he's a professional fighter, but, I mean, I'm sure he does something else on the side because, I mean, he just fights, he's really a journeyman. I mean, he's just a journeyman. So, yeah, KSI did what he had to do. He did what he had to do. I mean, he stopped him, he dominated him, dropped him multiple times. He had two body shot knockdowns, two other knockdowns with headshots, but Pineda got up from that fourth knockdown of the fight and just continued running around the ring and survived. And then in the third and final round, KSI was unloading with some shots, landed overhand right on his first punch of the round, and then scored another knockdown. Yeah, I mean, he dropped him again, fifth time. I mean, I think the referee could have stopped it. But then later, after that, KSI gets hit with an uppercut, and then Pineda gets hit with an uppercut, and then takes canvas again. And then, yeah, that was it. So KSI got a third round knockout victory over Luis Alcaraz Pineda. Yeah, I mean, he did what he had to do, obviously, and this goes into question, what is next for KSI? Going 2-0 tonight on his showcase. I mean, this will be a really good showcase card for him. So, I mean, I think in his next fight, he'll take on, definitely not a real fighter. I think he'll take on someone who might have won on the undercard. He might take on, like, someone around that level, like another YouTuber, another like social media star, singer, songwriter, rapper, whatever. He's going to take on someone like that who might have had some boxing experience, or he might take on someone else like this, like a journeyman in the actual professional ranks who's ranked in the thousands by BoxRec. But as for Luis Alcaraz Pineda, if he's going to continue his boxing career, I think he's just going to do what he's just been doing, just fighting in Mexico against lower level opponents, taking losses, maybe getting some wins, just stuff like that. So overall, KSI knocks out Luis Alcaraz Pineda in the third round to go 2-0 on his 2 fights and 1 night showcase, getting a knockout win earlier on in the night over Swarms, and then knocking out Luis Alcaraz Pineda in their fight. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.